Welcome back to another declutter. This is the last and final declutter in my series, and as you can tell, today we have eyeshadow palettes. So we have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I am not sure if this is all going to fit in one video. It might be a two-parter. You'll know by the time this goes up, but I have quite a few. I'm not sure how many. If I had to guess, maybe like 150 to 200 palettes. I don't know. That's just like kind of a random guess. But there's a lot to go through today. I have, these were in 6 drawers, 6 Alex 9 drawers, and I have 2 that they have to fit into. This is thick, it's layers deep, so we have a lot to go through. I'm gonna open everything up and show you what the palettes look like, and let's just get into it. This is gonna be a long one. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. I also have some palettes just sitting off to the side that don't fit. I have all of these Ofra ones, as well as these Morphe palettes here. So we'll get to those in a little bit, but I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of randomly grab towards what I'm feeling good about, and then, you know, we'll just go from there. So there's 2 categories of palettes that I think I'm gonna keep. One is like my practical use, like, you know, I love these palettes, I use these palettes every day, that type of thing. But I do know that there will be probably a few that I will keep for like other reasons, whether it's part of like a collection or like from a brand that I really love, you know, or to have like one colorful palette, like that type of thing. We'll see. I'm gonna try to keep that second category to a minimum. So I want to try to stick to ones that I know that I will use and love and, you know, get a lot of use out of. So first up, we have this palette here from e.l.f. This is the Game Up palette. I bought this because I love makeup and I love video games. This color palette is not something that I am going to really reach for. So although I love the packaging, I love the idea behind it, the concept, I'm gonna declutter this because I've had this for I don't know how long. It's literally still sealed, and I don't want to just keep things because of the packaging. So our first palette is decluttered. Next, we have a few Morphe palettes. So I have been a big fan of Morphe for a really long time. I've had moments where my Morphe collection was very large. It's definitely more reasonable now. But I still think that it's time for me to get rid of quite a few of what I have left. So I have these 9-pan palettes here. These ones are from, I think, their holiday collection. We have Champagne Glow, literally never touched. And then we have Cabernet Blush, again, literally never touched. So although these palettes are beautiful and they are color stories that I could definitely see myself using, I am going to declutter both of these. They're still brand new, so I would rather them go to somebody who's gonna get more use out of them than I will. Next, we have this Hot for Hue palette, also from Morphe. This is really fun and colorful. I feel like it's probably kind of similar. Oh, no, it's not really similar. There's some similar colors in this palette, as well as a few others that I have. And I think that I can let this one go, even though it's so pretty. It's like neon and summery and fun. I just don't think that I'm gonna get a ton of use out of this, so even if I did use it a few times, probably doesn't justify keeping it. So we are going to declutter it. Like I said, I have limited real estate, if you will, to fit all of these palettes that I want to keep. So I have to be cutthroat. So this is gonna be the most cutthroat eyeshadow palette declutter that I have ever filmed. I know I have a few more Morphe palettes over here, and these ones are even still in the packaging. We have some Matte Essentials palettes. We have the 9B and the 18WT. Again, these are really pretty palettes. They look really pretty. You can kind of see the color stories on the back there. But they're still in the packaging. I haven't used them up until this point. I know these are pretty new, but we're gonna go ahead and declutter them. I know I have a few more Morphe palettes. We have this one here along with all of these like larger ones, so maybe we'll do these larger ones. So first up we have the 35O Supernatural Glow. This is sort of like the new and improved 35O. The 35O was a classic, if you guys remember and you've been a part of the makeup community for a long time. This is a really nice palette. I really enjoyed this, but I have had this for a while. I know I had it in 2021. I'm pretty sure I bought this when it came out, but I recall having this at our apartment that we lived at, which we haven't lived at since 2021. So because of that and the fact that it's a big palette, we are going to declutter it. Then we have the 35XO. This one is beautiful. Look at this palette. These colors are stunning, but I am going to declutter this, even though I don't want to. I just know I have other palettes, like some ColourPop palettes and, you know, just other ones that I'm gonna reach for over this. And again, this is a large palette. I'm limited on space now. I am due with my first child in November, so I am downsizing my makeup collection. So gotta make some difficult decisions. That is one of them, but we are going to declutter it. And then I have my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes. These are like classics, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep these, but we have the original Jaclyn Hill palette. This actually isn't my original one. This is like a more recent one. So that's why it doesn't look super used. My other one that I had, that I bought when this palette first came out, is like destroyed. But I have that in like a makeup memory box. So this one we're gonna keep for now. I am gonna go through these as I am, and then at the end we'll go through everything that I said I was keeping and reevaluate and just make sure everything fits. Then we have Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. Again, I am going to put this in my keep pile. And then we have the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette, which again, I plan on keeping. Next, we have some Urban Decay palettes. Urban Decay, another classic. I do love Urban Decay. And oh boy, my palettes are sliding everywhere. I know I have these four. This I think is it. We may come across another one somewhere, not 100% sure. But I have these four Naked palettes. I, you know, have been a Naked palettes lover for a long time, Naked palette collector, but honestly, I kind of feel like the Naked palettes are over. They've probably been over for a long time, and I'm just late to the game. But I don't know, there's something so nostalgic about it. So first we have the Urban Decay Wild West palette. This one's really, really pretty, but I just don't know if I'm really going to use that a whole lot. Same with this Naked Honey one. This one we definitely can declutter. It's very gold, which I love, gold and bronzy, but I have other palettes that I know that are similar color stories that I'll get good use out of, so we're going to get rid of the Naked Honey palette. We have the Naked Ultraviolet palette. This one's really pretty. Love the purples, but again, I know I have other palettes that have similar color stories, so we're gonna get rid of this one as well. And then we have the Naked 3, which this one is actually a new one. I bought the Naked palette, my first one, in like 2010 or 11. I bought the Naked 2 when it came out, bought the Naked 3 when it came out. This one was sent to me very recently in a PR package, so I actually haven't even used it though since I received it, so I feel like I should get rid of it and just move on, close that chapter. And then same with the Wild West palette. It's really pretty and I want to keep it. There's some gorgeous shimmers like Cowboy Rick and Hold'em, but I don't want to keep a whole palette just for like one or two shades. So, or at least minimize the number of palettes that I do that for. So we're gonna get rid of it even though it hurts. Our next category of palettes is gonna be Glam Light. I have quite a few Glam Light palettes. I used to have way more, but I actually got rid of a bunch because they were just really old ones that I had for quite some time. So I do still have a few left, so we're gonna kind of gather up the ones that I can see. Again, we may come across some more later on. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just kind of grabbing what is available and visible. So here's kind of what we have as far as glam light goes. So I have these Scooby-Doo palettes, which are really pretty, really fun. Like, honestly, they're so fun. I love the packaging on them. Very like colorful and, oh, our dryer's done. Very intense and beautiful and like just gorgeous. I used to love wearing eyeshadow like this, but I just don't do it anymore. I'm so, like, if these were neutral colors, I would absolutely be keeping these. But since they're so colorful and deep and rich, it's just not something I'm going to reach for a lot. So although I love Glam Light's shimmer formula, and this is so beautiful to look at and I want to keep it, I know myself and I know I'm not going to use these. I haven't used them in I don't know how long. I did a video on them if you're interested in my like review or like an eyeshadow look, but I think I did one look with each palette or something like that. But we're going to get rid of them, even though I'm so sad about it. I just know I won't use them. I might not have even used those since like the week that I first got them, which was quite a while ago. So we're gonna say goodbye. Then we have the ice cream palette, which was one of my favorites. It's so colorful and fun. Again, I love the Glam Light shimmer formula in particular. The mattes are really nice as well, but their shimmers are just out of this world. This is a pretty large palette and there's a lot of colors in here. And again, I'm just not really the colorful type anymore. So even though this makes me sad, I think that it's time that I let go of the ice cream palette and say goodbye. Then we have the Glam Light and Michaela palette. This is the first one. These shades are beautiful. This shade right here, Manifest in particular, is freaking stunning. I love that color. It is a little bit of a larger palette. It is pretty colorful. Realistically, am I going to use this a whole lot? I could see myself using like the top row and then like maybe a couple of these other shades. So I'm not 100% sure what to do on this one. I think I'm going to put it in like a maybe pile because I just don't know for sure. So now we'll have a keep and a maybe and a declutter pile. And then we have the Happy Hour collection, which was a beautiful collection. We have the Margarita palette, which is so colorful and fun and summery. We have the Dirty Martini palette, which is really green and beautiful. We have the Wine palette, which is purple. And then we have the Chocolate Martini palette, which is definitely my most used one. It's the most neutral one. So as I look at these, I definitely could get rid of the purple one, just because there's a lot of mattes in here and it's just a little bit deep. So that's going to be a declutter for sure. The Dirty Martini is beautiful, but again, I'm feeling ruthless, so we're going to declutter it. The Margarita I want to keep because it's so colorful and fun. And then Chocolate Martini is, again, really nice neutrals. But you know what? I think we are going to just declutter all four of them because we just do not have the space. We don't have the space because there's a lot of palettes here that I see that I would rather keep over those, even though those are fantastic palettes and I would recommend them. I think we're going to go ahead and declutter all of them. Now, I'm seeing a lot that I want to keep, so I think what we're going to do is just kind of go through and pick out a few that are going to be for sure keeps. So first up we have Nudie number 2 by Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is one of my absolute favorites. I love this palette so much. It's amazing. 10 out of 10. That one is staying. Also with that, we have the Full Fantasy palette, which is a collaboration between Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is a gorgeous palette. I love it so much. This one more recently came out. I definitely will be keeping this. It is freaking beautiful. And then another one of my all-time favorites is right here. We have the Nude Prism palette from Lunar Beauty. This one is incredible. If you don't have this palette, you need it. These metallics are just, they are amazing. So yes, this is my like all-time favorite eyeshadow palette right here. Definitely not going anywhere. Another one that I'm for sure keeping is this Vive palette. This is the 90s palette. This is different. It's very cool toned, but it is so beautiful. I love Vive. I just think they are so cool. I love the brand. I love Jamie Genevieve, and this is a really nice different palette that I will be keeping. Okay, so now I'm kind of looking around. I'm gonna look for some miscellaneous brands. We have like this Kaleidos one. Oh, I have a few of these from Profusion. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I don't even think this is an eyeshadow palette, honestly. I think these are eyeliners. It might be a palette. I don't know. Oh, it is an eyeshadow palette. This is really pretty. This is from Odin's Eye. It's brand new, has never been touched. This is the Soulmane 2 palette. It's gorgeous, and I'm sure someone's gonna love this, but I am going to pass it along because I've had this for a little bit and I have not used it. So we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to that one. We have the Catrice Sandy Days palette. This one's beautiful. It's a really, really nice palette. I feel like I have a lot of this neutral thing kind of going on, so because of that, I am gonna declutter this, but it is a really beautiful palette if you're looking for a nice, more warm toned neutral palette. It's beautiful, and every time I've used it, I've loved the way that my eye looks have turned out. Then we have the Escape Pod palette from Kaleidos. This palette is beautiful. Love the colors, love the formulas. It is a little bit on the older side, and I haven't used this in I couldn't tell you how long. So because of that, even though I want to keep it, I am going to declutter it. Then we have these Profusion palettes. I have Citrine, Fuchsia, and Mauves. So Fuchsia is gorgeous. I love the pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors. Citrine is also really beautiful, but these are both still sealed, and I've had these for quite some time, and since they're still brand new and have never been touched or swatched, we are going to declutter those. I also have Mauves, which this one is really pretty. This one is, let me just like swatch this color. That is insane. Look at this. Holy crap. That's beautiful. I want to keep this one, but I'm not 100% sure on it. Like I said, I'm trying to really be picky here, so I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile. I have a few here from With Love Cosmetics. We have the Hearts of Nude palette. This one is gorgeous. I love the packaging on this palette. And then we have the Pink Dreams palette, which, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That is stunning. Why are these decisions so hard? I'm gonna put these in the maybe pile. We'll come back to those. I don't know my decision on those quite yet. We have Whimsical Nudes from Laura Lee Los Angeles. This one is a must keep for me. I love this palette. I think it's fantastic, and the color story is a little bit different compared to what I have. I have some of these little e.l.f. palettes. These are the bite size palettes. I had a bunch of these. I'm pretty sure I had like every color at one point. My most used one by far is Cream and Sugar. This is really pretty. I am definitely going to be keeping this. These are like $3 or $4. The shimmers are stand out. They are just incredible. I also have Berry Bad, which is kind of more of like a cranberry theme. This one I don't think I've used it. Nope. Never been used. So we're going to declutter that one so we can pass it along. And then this one is Pumpkin Pie. This one is really pretty. very fall vibes, but again, never used it, so I'm gonna declutter that one, and we're gonna put Cream and Sugar in our keep pile. I also have this blush palette, randomly enough, from Profusion. I must have accidentally had this one in here, but I think I'm gonna declutter this because I already did my face palettes and I'm pretty happy with what I have. So this Blush 3 palette is beautiful. It's peachy and gorgeous, but yeah, I'm gonna declutter it because I don't need it. Next, I have the Spanglish palette from Alamar Cosmetics. This one is beautiful. I love this palette so much. Love the formula, but this is pretty old. I've had this for a really long time. So I haven't used it in forever. I want to keep it. I'm going to put that in the maybe. It's so pretty. I'll compare it to my other like kind of more colorful palettes and see what we think. I'm not 100% sure on that one yet. Next, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. This one is beautiful. I am going to be keeping this palette. I think it is stunning. I love the color story. It's so fun and I love the formula. Okay, next up. This is so hard. We have this palette from Ofra. This is the Lotus palette. This is a gorgeous palette. Very muted and neutral, but I don't think that I need it because I have a lot of neutral palettes, so I think we're gonna declutter that one. Ooh, I found another Urban Decay palette. This one is the Naked Sin. This one is beautiful. I am obsessed with this palette. It's tiny and travel friendly and just fantastic, so that one I am gonna keep. Next, we have this one from Revolution Pro. This is gorgeous. The packaging's a little bit bulky. It's really cute and fun, but I haven't reached for this in a really long time, so we're gonna declutter that one. A lot of these are ColourPop, so when we get to the ColourPop, that's gonna be a tough one. Oh, this is also a face palette. This is the Glam face palette. Oh, I see it has eyeshadows too. Okay, we'll come back to that one from Natasha Denona. Let's see. I guess we can do the rest of our Ofra palettes since we're here kind of talking about them. So let me move these out of the way. Okay, so we have these 5-pan signature palettes along with these larger palettes to go through from Ofra. So we'll do the larger palettes first. First up, we have the Caribbean Glitz palette. This one is beautiful. I love, love, love these Ofra palettes. Next, we have Allie's Collaboration palette. Then we have the Beyond Words palette. We have the Hot Mess Mama of 4 palette, Life's a Draft palette, and then we have the Pro palette, which this one is like a very large one, and it has eyeshadows, bronzer, highlighters, and some like a banana powder and some other things. So there's a lot in here. I think what I'm gonna do, if I'm just making like kind of like rash decisions, I think we will keep Allie's palette. We'll declutter these 2 palettes. I'm just making quick decisions so that I don't think about it for too long. And then I really like both of these, so we'll put Hot Mess Mama's palette and the Life's a Draft palette and Allie's palette in the keep pile. I think I'm going to declutter this Pro palette because it's still brand new and has the packaging on it. It's really, it is a larger palette, and this is really nice if you have like a makeup kit or if you're traveling or something like that. It's a great value for what you're getting, but I pretty much have all of these products in like singles or individuals, so because of that I feel okay passing that one along. And then we have all of the signature palettes. I love these palettes. So we have the Getaway palette, we have the Sweet Dreams. This one is incredible. I'm gonna like lay them out like this. We have the Luxe palette. We have the Empowered palette. That's a pretty green one. And then we have Symphony, which is beautiful. Oh, I have another Luxe palette. We have Galaxy, which is purple. And then we have Frosted Glow. Oh my gosh, that is stunning. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna try to like make quick decisions again. I think I can declutter the green one because I don't wear a whole lot of green, so we'll declutter that one. I don't need two. These are both the same, so I don't need two of these. So I will keep one and declutter one. I definitely want to keep this one. This is beautiful, the Glow, Frosted Glow. Also Sweet Dreams, I'm definitely going to keep. I think Galaxy, I think I can get rid of Galaxy. Then we have Symphony and Getaway. I think I can get rid of both of these. It hurts, but I think it's what needs to be done. We need to make space. So I'm going to keep these three, and I'm decluttering 5 of them. Okay, now we have, we'll do Natasha Denona next because we love Natasha Denona. So, you know, we're going to put ourselves through some, just like a little bit of stress. Okay, I think this is all of my Natasha Denona. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is all of it. So let's get to it. Let's start with the mini palettes. We have the mini star palette. This is beautiful, but I don't need it, so we're gonna get rid of that one. We have the mini Zendo. This one, I don't know what it is. I love this palette so much, so I'm gonna keep that one. We have the mini Love palette. I think I can declutter that one. We have Mini Biba and we have Mini Nude. So Mini Biba is really pretty, so is Mini Nude. If I had to pick one though, I think I would pick Mini Nude over Mini Biba. But I think I might put all 3 of them in the keep pile for now, and then we'll revisit them. Okay, then I have the Biba palette, which is a beautiful neutral palette. This is great. It's my one large Natasha palette that I have left. I used to have so many Natasha Denona palettes, so we're gonna keep that one. And then the rest of these are like the midi palettes, and I have the Glam face palette. This is really pretty, but I have hesitation though because of this cream blush. Like, we're gonna get rid of this. I don't need it. It's really beautiful and I used it a whole lot, but I just don't need it. So yeah. We have this palette here. This is the My Dream palette. I like this palette, but I don't like it as much as I should to be keeping it. I do not like the packaging on this. The paint splatter is like, reminds me of middle school, so I get like weird vibes when I think of that palette. So we're gonna get rid of that one. Now these are my favorites. I love the retro palette, like 10 out of 10. I love the retro glam palette, also 10 out of 10. Those are keeps. The glam palette is stunning. We have the bronze palette, again, stunning. We have the Zendo palette. And then we have the Love palette. So for now, these are gonna all go in my keep pile, and if I have to get rid of some other things to make room, I will. I'm gonna keep this Charlotte Tilbury quad. This is in the shade Pillow Talk. It's the luxury palette of Pops. That one's a keep for me. I'll do a couple more, and then that's going to be the end of part 1. We'll go into part 2, which is going to be going through the rest of the palettes, and then, you know, kind of re-going through what I said I'm going to keep, and then making sure it all fits into the drawers. So we have some Buxom palettes. We have the Straight Up Eye and Cheek palette. This is so beautiful. I love this palette. And then I have a couple of these Buxom Dolly palettes. We have Darling Dolly, which is beautiful. And then we have Diva Dolly, which is also beautiful. Honestly, I want to keep all of those, so they're gonna go in the keep pile for now, but we will definitely revisit those. I have some Jaclyn Cosmetics palettes. I love this strawberry palette. It's the Strawberry Feels palette. I think this is beautiful. That one's gonna go in our keep pile. And then we have the Luxe Legacy palette, which is a really nice neutral palette. You know, I haven't used this in a while though. Do I declutter it? I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna declutter this one. I just never reach for it, so I think I'm gonna let it go. Okay, that's the end of part 1. For part 2, like I said, we've got a ton of ColourPop. We've got some Lunar Beauty, Laura Lee, Huda, a few other miscellaneous ones. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. So far we're doing pretty good. We're getting rid of, I feel like we're 50-50 right now, so we're gonna have to do better in part 2. But yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.